Well, here now to break down this whole debate palooza news that broke today is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Senator, CNN just named Jake Tapper and Dana Bash as their debate moderators. Let me say that I think Trump will mop the debate stage floor with Sleepy Joe. But, Senator, you've been on a high-profile debate stage. Will Trump get a fair shake with these two moderators?
Well, you know, I'm thinking softballs for Joe Biden and hardballs for, of course, Donald Trump. But the better question is, will the American people have a chance to see the answer to anywhere, anytime, one-on-one? The answer is absolutely yes. Joe Biden will look like he is an elderly man who should be retired. And the good news is Donald J. Trump is going to be the guy that retires him. The American people want to talk about the border crisis, 10 million illegal immigrants brought under Joe Biden. And guess what? There's a record to compare it to. Donald Trump, we had the most secure border in the last 4 decades under Donald Trump. The economy. Think about working class Americans living paycheck to paycheck.
I don't want to interrupt you, Senator. I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to stay on there because I was so excited when I heard this news, when I saw that clip of Joe Biden saying, "Let's go, pal." Are you kidding me, Joe Biden? Let's go, pal, to Trump. You're going to share a debate stage. So let me ask you, what's the advice to Trump? I mean, he doesn't need advice because he defines the debate. But what do you think his demeanor should be, knowing you're going to get? You know, they're probably going to leak the questions to Joe, number one. Number two, they're going to be, like you said, softballs versus hardballs and you know, interrupt. But what's the demeanor Trump needs to do to really get under Biden's skin?
Well, listen, President Trump needs to be Donald J. Trump. America loves President Trump because he's plain-spoken, easy to understand, and he is clear as a bell. What will you have on the other side? You'll have someone who fumbles and bumbles and works his way to the end of the question. If the question asked by Jake is, hey, President Biden, how's the economy? That's what we should expect. The truth of the matter is this should be entertaining. To watch President Trump debate Joe Biden will be entertaining no matter the moderators.
So there's this whole school of thought.
Eric, think about this, Eric. Eric, think about this. This is the Clinton News Network. I mean, we don't expect a fair debate, but we do expect both men to show up. And
but here's
contrast
the thing. Here's one of the ways they bias these debates is that, and I remember this because Chris Wallace did it over at Fox, and it blew everyone away, when you fact-check live, right? So some moderators will fact-check live. And Chris Wallace, by the way, got it completely wrong about the Hunter laptop. He fact-checked Trump, stopped him in his track, and it was wrong. Do you think these CNN moderators will fact-check Trump? And if they do, will they do the same to Biden?
Well, you know they will not do the same to Biden because Biden can't answer the basic question, much less a research or historic question. So we know there's going to be an extension of the Democrat Party hosting and then moderating a part of the debate. That's a given. President Trump wants the debate for one reason. He wants to talk to the American people and to hold Joe Biden accountable. Accountable on what? Accountable on the border. 90-plus executive orders in the first 100 days of Joe Biden's term. What did that do? It made the border the most porous, unsafe, insecure border. President Trump wants to have that debate no matter who moderates it. He wants to debate on the economy. He should have one debate, not just the June 27th debate. There should be one debate on the dismal performance of Joe Biden making life harder for every demographic in the country. And at the same time, have Donald Trump talk about making the economy stronger for every demographic in the country.
All right, I have a question for you. Senator, who would you rather see, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash on CNN hosting the debate, or Charles Barkley and Gayle King? I'll go with Barkley and King, just me.
Well, listen, I'm going to go with you on that one. The one thing we know, at least Charles Barkley has at times had some common sense on some of the political issues. He wants people working. He doesn't want people receiving stuff for no work. I'd like to see that. Gayle King's a lovely person. But one thing I'd say, without any question, I'd rather see Eric Bolling and Tim Scott asking the questions. I'd much rather see conservatives who are plain-spoken, common sense, and intelligent. Let's go with Eric then, and Sean Hannity, or let's.
I'm down. Sean is my TV brother, my best friend. I got another one. They want me to wrap it. ABC is the other debate. It's going to likely be Stephanopoulos or David Muir, but I'd rather see The View and Jimmy Kimmel moderating that debate, because I'd love to see Trump just chew them up and spit them out.
Well, listen, the one thing the good news is Donald Trump's going to answer the questions the way Donald Trump is going to answer the question. But let's just, for every single intelligent viewer, which will be all of the viewers of your show, I think it's quite remarkable that Joe Biden will not have a debate with conservative moderators.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Senator, I would love to moderate a debate with you, but I have a hunch that there might be a vice presidential debate, and I don't know. Maybe Kamala Harris will be debating Senator Tim Scott on that one, and I would be honored to moderate that one.
I hear there's a debate in July. If you're the guy moderating, maybe I'll be talking to you. We'll see what happens. But you and I both will agree that America is the greatest country because anyone from anywhere can rise to the place of having this conversation. And I thank God that we, the United States of America, we will continue to be the greatest land on the planet, but we need a new president, and that's Donald Trump.
And a new vice president, and is it you?
Yes.
We'll have to wait and see.
We'll
Stay
see.
tuned, as they say. Senator Tim Scott, really good having you. Thank you.
God bless you. See you soon.